The STL Hockey Fan Podcast is presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media Group. I-70 strives to give you the best sports coverage in the tri-state area. Find them on Facebook or at interstate70sports.media. Dogtown Pizza. If you haven't had a Dogtown Pizza, you are absolutely missing out. There is nothing better than coming home from work or school or wherever you're stuck at for the day, throwing a Dogtown Pizza into the oven for pretty much no time at all, and enjoying that St. Louis-style greatness. With selections like a classic pepperoni, the 4-meat, the deluxe, and the veggie, there's a perfect pizza for everyone. The best part is knowing you're supporting a local St. Louis business and family. Dogtown Pizza has partnered with our beloved Blues, but also with other prominent St. Louis figures like Steve's Hot Dogs. And it's run by the Shaper family, St. Louisans through and through with a decade in the business. My family and I had 2 of these bad boys today in preparation for this, and they turned out incredible. Just look at that cheese. Bottom line, if you're looking for a pizza you'll love, from a local company you can trust, run by a family you can relate to, go to dogtownpizza.com, find a store near you, and go get one. Thanks again to Dogtown Pizza for sponsoring this podcast. Let's go get a pizza, and let's go Blues. Welcome to the STL Hockey Fan Podcast. I am Corey. This is Jesse. And the boys are already out of it, guys. As of, I believe, the game against the Blackhawks.
Yeah, mid-game.
Mid-game, which that's got to suck. Then we get, what is it, like 4 more games that are just meaningless.
Yes. Meaningless in standings and points, but not to the boys playing. They're still out there competitively playing the game.
That is true. They got, wins in the last 2, yeah?
Yep. Last 3. Actually,
last 3. Look at them putting 3 together.
Yeah, they took Chicago, they took Minnesota, and then they took Pittsburgh. And
now, in Chicago, are they resting anybody? They're eliminated too.
Yeah, I think it was just a regular game.
It's business as usual.
Yep.
So they win that game. That's good. They look good. And then the Minnesota game, they are resting, they said like 10 guys?
10 to 12 players, yeah.
Yeah. And the score to that one was 6-3.
6-3. Yeah.
Yep. And then they win in Pittsburgh. Is that 7-5?
7-5, yes.
And again, I didn't think there was any Crosby, there's no Malkin, there's no Letang,
But this was the proving ground of the Pittsburgh Penguins' depth as well.
True.
And they were shown up by, a squad ready to go with the Blues. And if you watched the game, you saw the Pittsburgh's coach giving them a little talking to on the bench and saying, hey, why are we losing to the Blues? And, why are they beating you everywhere? It's because I think they wanted to give the hometown a good showing. Say, here you go. This is the last time that you're going to see this roster on this ice in a home game. Yep. And that includes some pivotal people, I believe.
I agree. I do think we're going to lose quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now, do we just want to go straight for them?
Yeah, let's go.
I think... Well, actually, I've got 2 for you. I think they move on. I think they move on from Kyrou. It just seems like he's not using his speed. That's the big thing, and that's something I heard Monty say on 101 ESPN. He has moments where he could, and it could really benefit, and it just seems like he doesn't. Now, I'm not a hockey player. I don't do the thing, so I can't really criticize. But from a above view, it looks like he's not competing as hard as everybody else.
I would say his speed got him in trouble earlier in the season because he'd be the only one in the zone by a mile, right? And so maybe he dialed that back a little bit. And then when we talked about it last episode, as far as removing his line mate with Holloway and whatnot, and it's okay, so now I'm head and foot away from these guys. So do I shoot? Do I, anybody gets near him and he dumps the puck, or they just take it away from him, and then now. Kind of makes sense because all you guys are still on the other end of the ice, but maybe just shoot the puck. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, because I mean, if you go in there and you hold it too long, whoever it is coming straight for you.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but I mean, I definitely think we move on from that, and that's one of our 8x8s. So that would, I mean, you don't know how much of that like would be retained and all that stuff. That stuff's gonna be wild details. But I think he's one that goes, and I honestly, I don't know if Bennington stays.
Well, they did the post-game interview with him. He said that was a perfect game in his eyes as far as he goes. When they've scored 5 goals against you, I don't know how you come off the ice and saying that was a perfect game for me.
Yeah,
you held in there, but I don't know if he was just kind of putting like a little shine on it or something like that. But they did ask him, what does the future hold? And he said, I'm just going to try to be better and not sure exactly what the future hold. And that's the same conversation Ovechkin has had. It's the same conversation all these guys have had. It's like, not sure, because the offers will come in the off season. Then they will be sure as long as the numbers are right.
Oh yeah. With Bennington, when does his contract end?
He still has like a full year, I believe.
So he's got one more year. So
yeah.
But if you ask me, that's the prime trade you to get something for you time.
Exactly.
I wonder if they try to do something there. Or I heard Joey Vitale saying on the broadcast that he would come back as the number 2, basically. And I mean, I can see that, but I just wonder if like Steen and Army are down for, all that risk, honestly, because like he's not been great all season. He did like some cool things in the Olympics. He did some not cool things in the Olympics, but like it's been real inconsistent all year. So like, have they seen enough?
Well, I'll tell you this much. I heard a stat last night over the Pittsburgh Penguins. They won 7-5, and they said that was our high mark as far as goals for the season.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to verify, so I was scrolling through, and I got real sad after like a couple of flicks up, and I was like, oh yeah, we did go through quite a spell of losing, and I won't blame Bennington. Like he's not at fault for everything.
Right.
They both had terrible starts to the season between Hofer and Bennington.
And I feel we were more worried about Hofer at that time.
Yeah.
I think Bennington was the one coming in saving us.
Yes, but something turned around with Hofer, and now we're looking at him being number 1 for next season. But
I think that's the natural progression of things. Like I wish, Bennington was lights out all the time. Like it seems like the only saves he makes now are like the big desperation saves, but it's the ones like a guy wins a face-off, slaps towards the net, boom, it's in. So
that was his bane of the entire season, and I said that last night. It like boom, face-off, shot, goal. Yep. I was like, he has fallen to that like 6 times that I'm aware of, and probably more throughout the whole season. So like, what are we doing here? Why aren't you protecting that open side a little more? They know it's your weak side, I guess.
Right. I mean, it's in the video, something like that,
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, fix it.
They had fix it or move on. That's it. We need a winning season next year. We, since 2019, we've made the playoffs, twice?
Yeah.
So
the next 2 years after that, and I honestly I can't remember because obviously like you had 2019 that ran into COVID.
Yes, that's true. They had the bubble and all that.
Right, and they went against Vancouver and lost. I think they got swept or won one game or something like that. Honestly, I don't think they won a game. But then after that, was that the year that they went up against the Avalanche?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Because I
that
remember,
makes
and the
sense.
reason I'm going through all of this is because like you went from 2019, there's a crowd like nobody even
Yeah.
knows about COVID yet.
Hey, there
Um,
was the crowd. There were cutouts in COVID. Come on.
right, yeah, exactly. And they were pumping in crowd noise, which was
Yeah.
crazy. But back to fans being there whenever Avalanche was there. Um, I don't know. Sorry, I just go through
Yeah.
my head with that. But yeah, in the last 4 years now, um, they've done it once. You definitely, I know that a big factor in that is what we were just talking about in the sense of they had a horrible start,
Yeah.
and that kind of led to them being, I guess, real discouraged and whatever feelings they were having, and they lost a bunch of other games. But um, a hot start is really what you need. And they, coming into this season, we're going to get 84 games.
Mhm.
Um,
Two
and
more, right?
two more,
Yeah.
and it is replacing your preseason games, two of them.
Oh, okay.
So the season's going to start earlier. It's going to start
Well,
in September instead of October now.
well, that's good though because they had a decent preseason. Like they started really good the first couple games, and then whatever. I think we lost or we won. I don't know. This was from my scroll earlier. I seen everything. I was like, oh wait, we're back into preseason and last season now. But there was a little hope there,
Yeah,
And I remember talking to people before the season started. I was just like, I'm just ready for Blues hockey. And
dude.
then this season started.
And then just torture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of preseason, I think something I heard Joey or Curbs say is that in the preseason and training camp and all that, like you had these games and like it was never our top guys really. Like if it was a
Right.
top guy, it was one top guy.
That's true.
So they're saying come this preseason, it's pretty much like the start of the Blues season. Like, yeah, you'll get your young guys that'll come in, get a little bit of time, but for the most part, it's going to be the lineup, and that's where they're going to start. Like, that's where they're going to start trying to win. Maybe you can get your losing out there, and then once you hit season time, bam, we're off.
Well, speaking of that, like the next season, it's a complete different roster by the time
Oh,
September
yeah.
rolls around. Not just are we losing Cairo or are we losing Benning? Like we know that Snuggerud or Secor, what is it? Sunquist, sorry.
Sunquist, Sonny, yeah.
Sonny's on the chopping block. He is done with his contract as of tomorrow.
Yep.
He had that interview at the ESPN as well. And he said he would die for this logo on our chest here that we wear, and he is like a true blue. I think that, and sometime in the future he'll get that award.
I agree.
I don't know if he'll be on the ice next season. He sat for a bit after his daughter was born, but also they were playing well, so it's like, he.
How
Yeah,
old
go
is
ahead.
he?
Sunquist is.
He's got to be in his 30s, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So he's probably wrapping it up. He really hasn't been the same since that complete knee rebuild that he had. So he's 32.
32.
So
Okay.
just turned 32. He's not Ovechkin. He's not going to last till 40 years old. 41 years
Yeah.
old if Ovi decides to play another season or not. I'm not sure, but his style of play was drastically changed after that major knee injury. But if that was his last home game last night, that was a beautiful way to close it out. He got a goal.
Yes.
Everybody's cheering him on. It's nice to see that because he said he didn't sell his house after he got traded. He will die in this city. Well, he didn't say die, but he's gonna like come back to St. Louis, and I appreciate that about him.
Yeah. If you think about it, I'd like to think obviously Monty is a huge Sonny fan.
Yes.
And I think Steiner is a huge Sonny fan. So I think if Sonny is willing and feels like his body can take it, I think they would keep him. I think it would be a 1-year deal and then probably done. But I think they would keep him because
You
he is
also,
like he's a good penalty killer. Like,
yeah, he is that. I will
and
say that.
that is something we need. Like, I think the whole style that we're headed to is just shut down defense and just get out there and try to like outscore in these very small, low scoring games. Like,
Are you
I don't.
talking about last night's game? Because you just defined that perfectly. They
Well,
shut them down defensively. Like the Blues were all over them last night after the first.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta shut down from the beginning, though.
Yes. Well, speaking of that, Monty said he did not go in the room in between the first and second period. He sent Robert Thomas in there and said, "Do as you're going to do and say what you're going to say."
Which is actually news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, what implications are we seeing there? Is that like, can this guy be a captain?
Big C.
Yep.
Yeah, perhaps.
So
they've said it was his team since Shen walked away.
right.
But we had our probabilities and our question marks of this, that, and the other. But I mean, you cannot deny that top line, like between Sonny Holloway, Tomer, and Broberg on defense. Like, they're pretty decent.
Yeah. I saw something. So periods between last night. What 1-2? What does that mean? 1-2.
So in between the first and second period.
Oh, okay. Well, because I was thinking it meant maybe I'll just ask the question. Anyways, so is it maybe a co-captaincy that like we're looking at? Like, has in that situation, and this is where I'm going to look like dumb hockey fan. In that situation, are there two actual C's? Do you think anybody would ever do that? Do you think anybody has done that?
No, I mean, I think that's where the A's come in, because you get like a maximum of 3 people that get to talk to the refs, right? You get your captain and then your 2 assistants. That's and that's split up whatever game you're playing. Yeah. Well, it's like, you have your offense, your defense, everybody has a say in it. Yeah. They get to go talk to the refs and say, "Hey bro, did you check your prescription today?" But I don't know if there's ever been a co-captain. And I think, you take this back to what was it? You asked me at a few episodes ago.
The Tarasenko, Petro.
Yeah. So I don't think that there could be a 2C, but, the one I like proposed would be Neighbors.
Yep.
But, he hadn't scored since February 2nd, and he finally nailed one. Was it last night or the night before?
No, it was last night.
Yep. It was Minnesota. It was
You're right.
Monday night.
100%. Yeah.
But then again, that's against a broken down team where their stars aren't playing. So I hate that they've done so well against these teams that are sitting their best dudes.
Yeah.
Because last night the passion was there, and even watching it, I think it was televised nationally, may have been on ESPN. But the commentators were like, "Why are they playing so hard? Like this is like a nothing game, but yet they're scrimmaging, they're doing their thing, Yep. And it's like, well, because that's Blues hockey, and they're gonna play when they can. So
yeah, and that's Monty's standard, and he's setting that now.
Yes,
like he just wants an effort, like a solid effort, and showing like the way the fans acted in the Pens game, last home game.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yes, that is exactly what I want to see. Like, I understand that them winning takes them out of the best case scenario, other than after missing the playoffs. But like, this is what you want to see. You want them to develop all of that now and take it into next season. As hard as that is to carry stuff over, you want them to take that into next season.
But let's look at Army's, when he set up leading up to trade deadline and stuff. Even before that, he was like, no, this is the team I want out there, and that's why he didn't make huge moves until, at the trade deadline.
Right.
But so when they're like, are we playing for a draft pick or are we trying to just build this team as who they are? Even Buchnevich, like he found his game in the last 10 games of the season type deal.
Yeah.
But man, he was all over it last night too. Even he, in the defensive end, he's skating around the dude saying, come on, let's go. And so I think that to dump for a good draft pick is bailing on the team you have now instead of building them up. Yeah, you can add somebody because even no matter what, you get or what is his name?
McKenna.
McKenna or the
other
other boy
Stenberg.
Stenberg. Yeah. Like that's a couple years out, guys. That ain't tomorrow. That ain't in September. So like focus on the group you have now, I feel. So we may see some people come and go, that's just what it is. There's a lot of other players. Like this is my only issue with the like Sonny and the Walker line. You can't keep them both. I don't think you can. No, I don't think you can. You gotta figure
Walker
that
just
one out.
got a.
You did get the extension, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Sonny, he's trying to play for a contract.
Yeah, but they didn't play him for like the last 6 games up until a couple ago.
Yeah. So, well, I mean that's because they had him out and then they had success. So
yeah, that's true.
You go with the hot hand. So we talked a little bit about draft picks. So the Detroit Red Wings missed the playoffs after really looking like they were going to and thinking they were going to. So
that poor fan base. I feel for you guys.
I know. And so we send Justin Falk that way, and we get a first-round draft pick for this coming draft, and it's in the lottery now. So that is something I would like to, I guess, give kudos to Armstrong for, because even if we're winning right now and we're the Blues get to a spot where they're not in a top 10 draft pick or whatever, that Detroit one still is.
Yes.
So
you're right. So it's there.
Yeah. So you kind of have the chance to have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
Which is good job, hockey operationing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Regardless of the trade with Detroit, both Falk and Shanner missed the playoffs as well. So
yeah, that's crazy. Both of those teams apparently were in positions to make the playoffs before those trades, and what was it? Detroit went 3-11 and stuff. It was awful. It was a horrible record.
It was a complete collapse. And same with the Islanders.
Is this going to make other teams don't trade with the Blues? They just spread their sickness.
Well, okay, those guys were around for a little while. They both have a couple on their shoulders, so it's not like it's their fault.
Right?
I wouldn't say that. But one thing I will say is once Falk was traded to Detroit, they made a big deal out of it in Detroit. Every time he touched the puck, they were like, "Oh, he's touching the puck," because he was a great defensive scorer for us.
Yeah,
and then. As he does, it's just not finishing it out,
and that sucks, man. Like you were saying, feel bad for those fans, man, because that is a rough go. So we were talking about Bucci earlier. I really liked him on the fourth line.
He's done great.
Yeah, I think you're almost taking him into a Steen route, because that's kind of what he was he top forward for the team for a while, and then 2019, a little before, he started hitting that momentum line, and I feel like that's something that Bucci could do, because man, he goes out there and I don't know, you can see he's given his all. And, Like that's
His
what
passing has gotten better.
Yeah,
I will say that.
and again, and every time you do that, I always like go all passing,
Yeah.
because like it's been cleaned up quite a bit,
Yeah.
but I think that's just an ebb and flow of hockey. Like you get like several string of games where the passing just looks awful, and then it's like it all comes back together, and there's a new issue. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, exactly. I mean, I was yelling at the screen last night. I was like, "Who made that pass?" And because it was picked off immediately and ran back to the other end, I was like,
oh
"Who was
yeah,
that?" And it was Thomas. And I was like, "Oh,
you're like, okay,
what the heck, dude?"
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those situations where it's. I guess since you've gotten away with it so much, you can say, "Okay, I can just flick it this way," but
no.
there's sticks on the ice at the same time.
Speaking of, I just remembered the goalie goal fake out from Benner. Like,
Yeah,
I really thought he was going to go for it. I really wanted him to.
he was going
Especially,
to.
yeah. Well, but what was the issue? He felt like he couldn't get it over everybody, or
No, the
what was the
issue
issue?
was everybody was screaming at him. The whole audience, the whole crowd was yelling, and he didn't know what was going on. So he just looked around and passed, but they were yelling, shoot. So
Yeah,
that was the first time in his career that they were yelling at him to shoot the puck. And so he's like, I guess that's what that feels like, you
right.
know? Yeah. So
Yeah,
he was thinking of it, and he did get the assist last night too. So.
yeah, I was yelling right here. Like my wife was sitting right next to me, and she just hears me go, "Oh, Benner! Oh!" And then just, "Oh,
Shoot! Yeah,
yeah,
he had clear chance for sure. Because I questioned that all day until I watched the post game interview, and I was like, why didn't he take that shot?
yeah,
But it was because that the whole crowd was yelling and he didn't know what was going on, and he was like, oh, they
yeah."
wanted
He
me to
had a
shoot
clear
it.
shot. Like,
Yep, yep,
but also like I was maybe thinking, was he trying to get the puck to Snuggie so he could get his Hattie?
right.
Which I mean, speaking of, Snuggerud gets his 21st goal of the season. Um,
Does he have 50 points for the season
that's a very
total?
good question.
Yeah.
Stats man, I'm a stat man.
But I do know that he only played 70 games as well. So it's already a little,
Yeah,
different.
but that is great. That's something that I remember. This is what I always think of when I hear that he got 20 goals, even more than that, 21.
Yeah.
Is Zach Bolduc. His whole thing about last year was he was trying to get to 20 goals and he fell short. He
Yeah.
only got 19. So, like, by the way, let me just throw this out. I saw and continue to see just these little moments in Snuggerud's game where you're just like, this kid is elite. Um, like I can't pinpoint even probably what game it happened in, but I think it was the Pens game. Snuggerud just came out and deked this guy probably like 3 times in the span of like a half a second. It was so fast. It was so far away from each other, like the where he was going with it.
Like how far with the
Yeah,
stick?
I
Yeah.
have never like seen it that way
I mean,
before.
a 50-point season with, only, 69. It'll be 70 games played by the time tomorrow happens. Out of 82 games, I think like he could have padded those stats a little bit more, but
Yeah.
injuries happen, and he was out for a couple weeks, and that happens. But what an amazing rookie year,
Yes, but also I think he was on a crap team. So
Yeah,
like,
that's very true.
and
Yeah,
I don't know how many games we saw where like none of the lines were the same. So you've got Snuggie on the third line with Suter, or you've got Snuggie on the second line with Bucci, or you've got Snuggie on the first line with Thomas, but you don't have Holloway over there, and now it's neighbors, and like, so I can understand now seeing Holloway, Thomas, and Snuggie all on one line. It's just chemistry.
It's unbelievable, is
Yeah,
what like
and
it's a beautiful top line, and we need another one.
Yes. So let's throw this out there. So, you have the draft, and then after that, I believe there's no other event in the middle, is free agency, right?
Yeah.
So I was looking at the free agents coming up. There is nobody, well, barely anybody under 30. And it's a lot of like
Makes
Ovies on
sense.
there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of those. It's a lot of 37.
Bring them to the blue note.
36.
Let's go. Come
Right.
on, Ovi.
Well, I can't remember who I was talking to. This is just a random one. So we were talking about the 3-pick trade. You've got 3 first-round picks coming up for the Blues. Do you trade all of them and some players to get someone generational? And I'm thinking McDavid. I'm reaching.
Hey, we got Gretzky after. I'm just saying.
You know what? History repeats itself. Monty makes him hate his life. So I think he took a team-friendly deal. What was it? 2 years, or was it 2 years?
Yeah.
And so, what if this season again something goes wrong and they don't, win the cup? Because that's the ultimate goal. Like they getting to like the conference finals, that's not going to mean anything to them.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's cup or nothing. So do you think he is in my last year, since we didn't do it again this year, trade me to blah, blah, blah,
Well, I think that
I don't think McDavid ever in any universe requests a trade to St. Louis.
Right. Yeah.
But the scenario.
All right, like hypothetically speaking, let's work this out. So Binner would be the reason, I think, because the goaltending in Edmonton has been lackluster.
Yeah,
and he's played with Binner a couple times now, done well with him, and so it's like, do you, hypothetically speaking, do you come to the Blues, or do the Oilers just take Binner, so he doesn't have to come? And
right.
But generational talent, it's a difficult thing, because we don't know what's generational right now. We know who were are like Crosby and Ovi, and
right.
You can name a handful of players there. The Blues have had their generational players. They've had those dudes that have came through these halls and played on this ice.
Yep.
Whether it be Pronger or like Gretzky himself or whoever. Yep. I don't see a scenario where we just go all in on some kid from Minnesota or something like that. I don't see that. I think now that the ball is in Steen's court, it's kind of going to be a different game moving forward.
I would love to see, that fantasy scenario play out, but you're right. Like banking all on one guy. And I mean, obviously, you've got guys like Hofer, you're banking on him. You've got Thomas and Snuggie and Holloway, you're banking on them. But like what you're banking on is them to come in and make an immediate impact.
Yeah.
And putting that all on one guy is kind of absurd.
Yeah.
But
we're doing that with a one line, I guess, not one guy. But,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can't, I don't really think you can go all in like that. I think a possibility is you take. I think you keep the highest pick, obviously.
Yeah.
But then maybe you get rid of that Colorado pick, and put it with a player and get somebody in return. You can spread it out, and maybe get a good couple of pieces, like we thought, Bukestad and Suter were going to be, and really only one of those guys panned out.
Right. I think that, so I haven't looked at the free agency coming up yet. I meant to do that earlier, but I just got busy. But if you're saying there's not many people under the age of 30 there, it's what are you trading for? Who are you bringing in that you're replacing if we have a team that has similar potential at that point, right?
Right.
That's why I think I keep going back to that, because what Army said, he's like, I'm happy with this team. And now it's come to fruition that, yeah, this team can play games. They can win. They can score. They can do their thing on the ice. And I don't know. I know the future is different, but I think that I don't know. I got this Sunny jersey a couple weeks ago at a game, right? And there was like a handful of players left in this colorway, and I immediately just said Sunny because I felt like he's a true blue, and I think that trying to replace a Sunquist is like going to be interesting, because that style of play is going kind of to the wayward now.
Yeah, honestly, I think Sonny is definitely one of those players that even if he goes to another team, those jersey sales don't change.
No, he's done it before, and I think he went to Detroit. I believe it was Detroit, and then they were eliminated. This was when he had his knee injury, because he's sitting in the stands in the Blues playoff game, like literally braced up, wearing the Robert Thomas's Elite t-shirt. Like, that shows you how much this dude actually cares about this blue note on his chest. Like, he's all in it, man. And those type of guys, I don't know if the Blues, the alumni, have done like that amazing of a job that they're like, no, you stay with St. Louis because, Detroit don't care about you, or whoever, right. Name a team. And I heard Brett Hall talking about it on the Ice Guardians as far as how big the alumni is. And like next to Montreal Canadiens, we're second there, because of how amazing we treat our former players. So, and I hate thinking of Sonny in a former player aspect, but I think it's coming.
Well, only time will tell. I think we can wrap it up right there. I want to thank everybody for watching and listening, for commenting, rating, all of that beautiful interaction, engagement stuff. I want to thank Dogtown Pizza for sponsoring us, helping us keep this thing going and rolling for you guys. And I want to thank I-70 Sports Media for putting us out to the masses and helping us out there. From there, we've got one game left, and I guess we'll see you there.
Yep. Sounds good, folks.
All right. Love you. Let's go Blues. Dogtown Pizza. If you haven't had a Dogtown Pizza, you are absolutely missing out. There is nothing better than coming home from work or school or wherever you're stuck at for the day, throwing a Dogtown Pizza into the oven for pretty much no time at all, and enjoying that St. Louis style greatness. With selections like a classic pepperoni, the 4 meat, the deluxe, and the veggie, there's a perfect pizza for everyone. The best part is knowing you're supporting a local St. Louis business and family. Dogtown Pizza has partnered with our beloved Blues, but also with other prominent St. Louis figures like Steve's Hot Dogs. And it's run by the Shaper family, St. Louisans through and through with a decade in the business. My family and I had 2 of these bad boys today in preparation for this, and they turned out incredible. Just look at that cheese. Bottom line, if you're looking for a pizza you'll love, from a local company you can trust, run by a family you can relate to, go to dogtownpizza.com, find a store near you, and go get one. Thanks again to Dogtown Pizza for sponsoring this podcast. Let's go get a pizza, and let's go Blues. The STL Hockey Fan Podcast is presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media Group. I-70 strives to give you the best sports coverage in the tri-state area. Find them on Facebook or at interstate70sports.media.